Hello, I'm excited to have the Maker team, or a few of the members of the big Maker team. We have Vamsi and Nadia. So this is going to be a little bit of a strange situation happening with this presentation, because the whole tour through the multiverse is going to be split in two. So what you're seeing here today is a pre-recording of a first section. We're going to showcase Maker efforts on working on the metaverse, creating these fabulous builds in the metaverse. Vamsi is going to show us what they have created on Cryptovoxels, and Nadia is going to show us what Maker has created and recently just released, I think this week or past few days ago, on Decentralized. After this short section ends, we're going to start over with the other part of the tour that was also pre-recorded, but unfortunately Nadia and Vamsi weren't able to make it. But we just want to make sure that Maker is featured. So that's what's happening. So you guys are aware why we have these two sort of sections in one. So that being said, I'm just gonna get started. Vamsi, do you want to maybe start?
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. So you can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So this is a preview page. This is Cryptovoxels, as you know, and this is a quick preview of like the DAI house. If you want to visit it, you can use the short URL vox.st/DAI. I'm just going to copy that and paste it so that we land at the right location. So DAI house was built in May of this year. Take just a little bit to load. Okay. So let's fly around a little bit. It's basically a building in the metaverse. It's like most other, like anything else. It's like a parcel of land, there's a building, and then the building has like various affordances to stimulate conversations, display media, etc. So we're entering this main building. You might see, and maybe if you've already experienced Cryptovoxels, you might see other buildings like filled with a lot of crypto art. This building does not have crypto art yet, but crypto art displayed on the walls. It's still a bit bare, but we do have like some cool gifs here. There is a secret memes floor, like filled with spicy memes. So maybe you can come back and check that later. Not gonna go into that. But as you can see, it's a building that basically is built to stimulate conversation. Like as you know, it's like displaying media is one part, but these buildings can also allow conversations to happen between people, both text and voice. All you have to do is like show up here. You can see my avatar here. And then if anyone else comes up, I can just press the button B and then start talking through audio with everyone present in the same room. That makes it especially interesting for communities like Maker, who are globally diverse, present all around the world, and really don't have a common meeting spot. So this could really serve as a great location for various members of the community to come and talk to each other and experience intro. What I do have is we also have a small garage, like right beside this building, where we've been doing a few experiments. It's not really like extremely well designed or anything, but we've been doing a couple experiments trying to see like how metaverse can help us spread the message of like Maker and DAI. So there's some GIFs, like helpful links to various community portals. Like community governance is a big part of Maker. So you click on these links and you're transported there to those websites. We've placed some interesting videos, introduction videos to what is DAI around the world, around this parcel. So you can click on a video and then look at that. What we are also trying to do is think of some educational experiences. Like everybody understands DAI really well. It's a stable coin. There's not a lot more to understand. But there are other parts of Maker that are a bit more complex, especially one that we call vaults, which generate DAI. So we've created a small educational experience here where users can click buttons, look at actions, see changes, basically understand the transitions that take place, and see like how dye gets generated. Some pictures, links, and yeah, this is basically it. Actually, yeah, there's just one more thing. You can go up to the first floor. You can see, and we built a small theater here with a few helpful links. So Maker Talks. So this is the video theater, and then you select a button, and then some of these videos can start playing. So it's a little bit of curation happening here, so that we've selected a few interesting videos. So basically, to make a first-time visitor experience, like some information around Maker, learn a bit, and then yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Vamsi. That looks really complex. It's a lot of work. Wow, fabulous. You're a good builder.
No, actually, the build was done by a designer called Ogre. He's one of designers on the Cryptovoxels space.
Got it.
So credit to him.
Excellent, Nadia.
Yeah, well, this is our maker house into the Decentralized world, and I love the design. It was made by the Decentralized team. They got the inspiration by the design we have, or colors, and they created this awesome house. And we are in front of Axie, so we have a lot of beautiful crypto kitties and Axie in the front yard. So when you go inside the house, you will find different links that can where you can go to Oasis. So you can go and trade DAI directly to Oasis, borrow DAI with collateral, and save DAI when the DAI savings rate is more than 0. Actually, we also have like an explanation, a brief explanation about what DAI is and why it exists. Then on the second floor, we have like this awesome VIP section where we had the other day our opening party. So we really would like to see all of you here hanging out. The idea is to have some meetups here, or maybe some community calls, so you can all like be with the maker team in the house. And yeah, I think that's it. Maybe I want to show you. Yes, I think downstairs you can find other links to join to our different communities via Rocket Chat, Telegram, WeChat, and YouTube. But perfect. Yeah, that's our beautiful house in the Decentralized Metaverse.
This is what we'll do. There is a bar on the side of this video for our viewers to see. So we're just going to drop the links and the coordinates for you to be able to access these two wonderful spaces. I want to thank you for coming and sharing what you've been working on. And what we're going to do now is move on to the second segment of this tour through the Metaverse. And I want to thank the Maker team for sharing this with us.
Thank you, Jessica.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jessica Angel again, here with an awesome group of people who are going to give us a tour through the Metaverse and talk about the awesome virtual spaces that are taking place this year. We have today Gleb, Peth, Rizzle, Nikita, and Jin. They are all working in different realms of this universe. So I'm going to give the floor to Rizzle to start. He's going to tell us a little bit about his project, what he's working on, and then each one of them is going to have a little time to talk about what they're working on. At the end, Jin is going to give us sort of a closing, very interesting view of how these worlds can be bridged together in this interoperable way, which is his research. So this is going to be a really exciting hour. So I welcome you all. You can all look at each one of the speakers. At the bottom, you're going to see them in the platform Attendify. And if you want to reach out to them, please feel free to do that, because this event is about connecting people, creating a stronger network within our ecosystem. So don't be afraid. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear from you. So I'm going to let Rizzle take it, and let's see this wonderful world. Rizzle.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm sharing my screen. Actually, my clothes just fell off somehow in Cryptovoxels, but oh, here we go. We're popping back on. So I'm dressed for the event. What's up, everyone? My name is Rizzle. I'm a co-founder of NFT42, and I'm here to talk about one of our latest projects, which is the Metalympics. Metalympics actually kicks off on November 5th. It's going to be about 10 weeks worth of events throughout the metaverse that will have prizes and cumulative points accrued throughout that will have sort of a closing ceremony at the end. So I wanted to give you like a little bit of history on like how we got started with this concept, and then do a little bit of a tour here. How this was actually born was right here. Actually, you can see we got a booth. That's actually our builder from Voxel Architects. What's up, George? The WIP meetup is sort of how this all hatched. The WIP meetup is every Thursday at 3 p.m. It's a weekly platform where we have a host of speakers from all around crypto. We're sort of blockchain agnostic, metaverse agnostic, but we get a bunch of speakers on. And we broadcast these speakers' presentations through Cryptovoxels, Decentralized, Discord, Twitch, and are trying to turn this into a truly metaverse experience with the WIP meetup. We have parcels in Sandbox and Somnium Space that we're working on as well. And so what we found through doing the WIP meetup is that after the speakers were done, we started having like activities like tours or games or scavenger hunts in some of these worlds. And they were wildly popular. We're getting, hundreds of attendees each week at the WIP meetup, and, conversely, these after party activities. So the Metalympics was born as one of these after party activities, and we wanted to have a series of events that sort of build on each other that allow for a truly metaverse experience from week to week. So this is our campus in Cryptovoxels that is actually being completed as we speak. You saw George working hard over on the booths. We've got 6 sponsored booths. We've got 10 sponsored qualifying events. We've got a track around the outside. And one of the things we wanted to do is not host all of our events in Cryptovoxels. So you can see right here, depending on the week, we've got teleporters set up to go to different spots in the metaverse where people can compete. So here's one for Battle Racers. We got a Crypto Motors one. These are all sponsors of one of the qualifying events. We're going to be closing the show late January with the Sandbox qualifying event. CryptoKitties is on board. Blocklead Games is going to do some cool dart thing with a lot of money. Sponsored dartboard, custom dartboard. Axie Infinity is on board. And so depending on the week, we will funnel several hundred people through one of these teleporters into one of these worlds. And the cool thing is if you guys are following me, so right here behind the Connie Digital banner, this is actually an art gallery that is just being finished, sponsored by Terra Virtua. So let me see if I got my bearings straight. Over here, you can see our Jumbotron, which is near our scoreboard, and Mount Metalympics. And this is where we will be broadcasting live some of these events that are going on in other places in the metaverse. So if someone's competing in Decentraland or in Sandbox, we will actually be able to stream those events for the remaining crowd that's in here who is either just observing or waiting to compete or something like that. So really excited about the scope of this project. The 21 parcel build here in Cryptovoxels. I'm not going to try and take all the time up here. I know I got a couple minutes left, but this is just a peek at the obstacle course. the spinning wheel of death over here. You know, we got some rings to fly through over here. And let me just get you guys over here to check out the apparel lineup we got ready to roll for prizes distribution. And we're really aiming for this to be like a super fun, like all-inclusive metaverse event, and not necessarily like a, you know, bludgeon your opponent to try and claw your way to the top of the leaderboard type of thing, even though trash talking is heavily encouraged. So these are all going to be wearables for distribution in the Metalympics store. Winners for all the events will get some WIP coin that they can use to purchase some of these items at a very affordable price point. If I can fly up here real quick, it's sort of hard to see from down low, but this is a glimpse at what is called the whale tank, which is actually a gigantic maze that is the size of the stadium over here, that we got some walls to move around, but people will essentially enter down here and get to go through this gigantic series of mazes. And we've got a leaderboard over here with people's run times, and we'll have certain things in there that you've either got to sign once you get in there, or a button to press or something that will signify your time. And so that's how that event will work. But every event's a little bit different. You know, I believe the CryptoKitties one is going to be like a cat breeding competition or something like that. So that's going to be more of one of these competitions that runs for the duration of a week, like on people's own time, and then we'll broadcast highlights or something like that in on the Jumbotron. So again, I don't want to go too much over my time here. That's about what I have to work with, but we'll round off here on the top of Mount Metalympus here, just for like a cool view of what we've got going on. So happy to answer any questions that people have who are watching the presentation, or hit me up on Twitter at NFTland. And yeah, y'all, thanks for the brief tour with me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. This is awesome. We really appreciate it. We're going to give the floor to Beth. The floor is yours, Beth, now.
I'm still unmuted. There we go.
We hear you.
All right. Thank you. So, building this thing called metagame, which is the first decentralized society, at least I think it is. And we are using, obviously, Ethereum. And what we're trying to solve is a bunch of things. And so the problem with the current world is that, like, the way things work is that everything is optimal for profit, and that like, unless you really try to extract as much profit as possible, then your company gets crushed by competition and all that. No, just keep all this not important. And what is the solution? Kind of a bit of all of these, and that's why we're building the metagame, which is a massive online coordination game. And I'm going to press this because it's not full screen. Perfect. There we go. And what is the metagame? We're kind of trying to build, a decentralized society, and try to build this hub for people that are building decentralized organizations, so DAOs and decentralized applications. So trying to create one place where people can come and sort of learn everything that they need, and find people that will help them build decentralized applications and organizations. And then we're going to use that to build a decentralized world. So there are two components of metagame basically, and one is players, which are like normal people, and the other one is guilds, which are DAOs and other types of organizations. And that's the phase one, and the basic infrastructure, which I'm not actually going to go too deep into, but the two main projects are the Meta Library and My Meta Profiles. And yeah, we are using SourceCred to track contributions. We are using Ethereum to mint the tokens to base our profiles on, using the Aragon DAO to manage the organizations and the balancer for the market. We have these sexy profiles that I'm also not going to spend too much time on, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So you got the player types, you got the availability per week, the skills, the memberships in different DAOs, an NFT gallery that you can use to sell your NFTs. And yeah, they're supposed to be extremely modular, which is why they have these different backgrounds that you should be able to set your own. Going forward, this is also, this is our battle plan, and it's based on the donut economics, which I'm going to show in just a bit the way it works. So the way it works is, things that we are doing too much of, and the things that we are doing not enough of, and the things that are in green line are the optimal line. And that's the project that are in optimal line and the people working on them. Yay. All right. And then there's the phase 2, which is when we are supposed to do like an actual token sale and recruit a lot more people from different technology sectors and start focusing on solving the real world problems, like, as opposed to solving crypto problems. And the problem we are solving in crypto is onboarding and helping people build things, but we want to move out to the crypto and into the real world. And that's part of metagame is tying this, I guess, the metaverse with the actual world. And create this. And the phase 3, building this web of life, about supporting thousands of people doing something meaningful and finding things that they want to do. And you can read this. And basically we want to connect with all of these like actual real life places, not just remain in the virtual world, which is all about phase 1. And this is the quote that I like to live by. And that's about it from this. And the way this works, also want to show, like, maybe you've heard of the Meta Factory, which is a decentralized brand factory that people can send their items to. And you produce digiphysical items, so you buy items in the real life, but you also get an item in the Cryptovoxels, and you can use in different virtual worlds. And the reason I'm showing you this is because obviously Meta Factory is one of the guilds of metagame. And the way we're going to try to connect all of these virtual worlds is by having one place with the portals to all these different places that are built by other guilds, like the Meta Factory. And I'm getting annoyed by this music distracting. And that's about it from me.
Thank you, Beth. Nikita.
Hi all. Thank you for this chance to listen this very interesting experiences, and what to also to share mine. I'm based in Ukraine and mostly working as a cultural manager, sometimes media artist, and the blockchain art is definitely an interesting thing I found, like maybe previous year. Mostly I'm involved into different kinds of virtual reality topics and XR art. So a few things about me. Let me show on this slide. So I was doing the hackathon in 2015 about virtual reality and art. Also, starting from previous year, educating the VR and AR, was coordinating the festival of VR art in Ukraine. And I found myself in this interesting role of architect for the metaverse. This year during quarantine is very interesting and growing community. So I want to share some of the projects I did. This first one is like curated collection of portals to different spaces. So the media I'm working mostly with is Mozilla Hubs. So the first room is Hubs for Culture, and you can find the different portals to galleries, to art pieces, to nightclubs. that represent that is represented in the metaverse as a virtual spaces, like in web. So then I was working with architects to build this expo hall, to present different kind of digital art pieces, and it was connected with the conference Future of Brands. So we did different kind of like sub spaces with expos of this artist that was mostly images, but sometimes video content and others. So this virtual space was made for the video marathon of musical performances from different countries, and it was kind of interstellar train that goes infinitely, and with this huge alien creature that just attacking the train. So we did different wagons with different styles. Like this was, for example, with a full of synthesizers of different kind, and this was like a vegan thing, when you can find like lots of this trashy aesthetics around meat, and then this surrealistic stuff. So the other project is was a representation of 2 video art pieces. It is also presented as a part of Ars Electronica virtual exhibition, and it's concentrated around the topic of virtual politics. So you can find this too at Arts Electronic exhibition. The other project I really happy to collaborate with Gleb in this one, and with 4 other curators, mostly from Europe. So this is a Cara Agora space. It's like a public space and virtual art and research platform. So this is a central hub space, and we have portals to different exhibitions that we organizing during the project. And here is the space of one of these exhibitions, the exhibition called Networks. And I was working on this also as an architect in collaboration with Curator. So it's this small rooms with art pieces inside. It's more than 90 art pieces in the room. And I want to announce the next one. The next event will happen November 10th, 7 p.m. Central European Time. You can find more at the website of Cara Agora. It's called Speculative Playroom. So we playing around with the ideas about future of food, future of money, future of environment and metaverse. And I found some challenges that really, I think, connected to other presentation that already we had here. It's so inspiring to see all this like Meta Olympics and playful social activities, because I can see that lots of spaces are just empty spaces, and most of the time it's not really active and not lots of people around there. So visiting the space is not often a social experience. The other issue is that virtual spaces are mostly about spectating and not participating in something. So the interactivity is kind of a frontier for this metaverse thing, I think. And for now, 3D in web is not such a beautiful thing as we can do in a standalone application. It's actually fun. It's also can be an interesting limitation to provoke creativity, because sometimes limitations could be source of inspiration, but still it's a challenge. So I think the huge focus we should all think about is what are social activities we could have in metaverse, because like it's very important for people to have something interesting happening, so they could check some virtual spaces and find themselves in networking, in finding new friends, in finding co-thinkers, and maybe partners for next projects. So this was experience for me, and I found lots of interesting people in different meetups in Metaverse. So I think community developers are the one that are very important. And regarding the new space we're working now, which is the Voxel Bridge, this will be presented during the conference, and I hope you can all participate and do the networking there. And if you will have any ideas about how it's possible to do any kind of events or hang out there, I think Jessica will be also open to this kind of a proposition. So it's also the next step, the next challenge for any virtual space is how to make it vibrant. So please, you can propose any ideas about that. And let me show you what is the space. I will share my screen again. Hope you can see it. So this is the virtual representation of a bridge, of a voxel bridge, and it is not a final version, so it could look differently in the moment when you even can see this, but still, you can hang out there and, of course, review the piece. You can also find interesting look points to have best perspective to the art piece. Yeah, so, and this is working on a Mozilla Hubs platform. So this means that you can also place a link to your virtual space to create a portal here from your virtual space, which would be very, very cool. Yeah, and just wanted to show a few links. So if anybody interested, then you can find these virtual spaces with these links, and also me with these contacts. Thanks, that's all.
Thank you so much, Nikita. I appreciate it. So we will be dropping the link to the Voxel Bridge on the Attendify platform, where we will all meet, or where we all are. And then, yeah, so you can go inside. So this is a web-based virtual space, right, Nikita? You can just click on the link and you'll be able to enter without a set of virtual reality set, right?
Yes, exactly. And you can also use the virtual reality headset or just a mobile phone, which is not so recommended. It's it could be kind of laggy and not so handy. But yeah, the optimal solution is to use virtual reality headset or just a desktop or just a laptop. So since it's a web technology, it can be opened on any platform.
Wonderful. I want to give the floor now to Jin, who's going to give us a tour through different spaces in the metaverse. Jin is also sort of going to wrap up different ideas that we have described today, and hopefully we have a little bit of time to have a conversation around all of this fun stuff together. So Jin. We don't hear you. There you go. So we're going to give Jin a little bit of time to set up his audio. I think we may have lost them for a second. While Jin comes back, I wanted to maybe ask you, Nikita and Gleb, you guys have worked together, and I'm interested in hearing a little bit about, you know, the collaboration that you have done. We have Jin back, but I'll ask that question after. But think about it.
Yeah. Hey, can you all hear me now?
Oh yeah. Yes. You're back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so just wanted to kind of talk about how these different platforms are becoming more interoperable with each other. Right now, I'm in Cryptovoxels, and how you can think of it is kind of like Minecraft meets GeoCities meets $1 Million Homepage. And so each of these is like a 3D website that is on this grid, and each of these parcels is like somebody's blog. And this is kind of drawing together all these artists, collectors, visionaries, Web3 developers to kind of live with each other on the same grid. Right now, I'm at the DAI House, which is made by MakerDAO, the creators of DAI, the stablecoin on ETH. And they commissioned this amazing build from a team of artists, voxel architects, I believe. There's a signature here somewhere. It might be Ogar, actually. But there's like, you know, teams of builders in these worlds that create these 3D websites. And because it's on the web, we're able to do so much like linking. Oh, it's by Ogar. There's the artist name right there. So it's interesting because, you know, you've got these websites, and it's not just a 3D website. It's you've got avatars, you've got chat, you've got the ability to have events in here. And if I just walk down the street, I'll just show you where I am in relation to this website. So in a spatial context, just bringing all these people together, it kind of creates this content discovery network. And as soon as you build in here, you're visible to a community of Web3 artists, collectors, and just visionaries that are constantly being inspired by one another. And I, you know, like to take walks through here, and what I am doing is kind of building ways to bridge this world with other worlds. I'm not just talking like, you know, other worlds as in this Cryptovoxels to another platform on the web, but also to native platforms, and not just like hop in between one another, but really how can you bring your stuff from one platform to another? So here's my home space. I'm in the Makers District, and in here I've got all sorts of links to projects. So in this shipping container, for example, I've got it also in a different type of website in VR. And I've been just kind of taking this shipping container and bringing it with me to as many different platforms as I can. I'll show you right here an example of interoperability of bringing this world closer to another world. So like imagine playing Cryptovoxels on the screen of, you know, kind of like a game within a game. And this too is a website as well. So this is a video from 2 years ago. So I've been working on, you know, metaverse interoperability for a while now. And I see it as important because, you know, if we're collecting NFTs and art, we don't want these things to be kind of platform locked in. So I'm always looking for ways we can bring our stuff with us to the next platform. Now, what does that actually look like? I'll show you in a second. So for example, our avatars, this is my avatar in Cryptovoxels, but what if I can bring that from Cryptovoxels into other places? So here I'm in VR chat, and notice you've got Cryptovoxels in VR chat as well. So the entire world, not just the avatar, is now on a different platform. And that does a number in trying to explain these projects to a wider audience, that instead of asking them to jump ship over to your platform, you just bring it to them. And you know, experimenting with open formats like VRM lets us just kind of multiply this effort. VRM is like the leading avatar standard, and it allows you to bring your avatar into dozens of different platforms, just because it's really built on GLTF, which is a royalty-free 3D model format. And this allows us to not just bring our avatars, but eventually our wearables and our, you know, the stuff that we collect into other places. So I'll take you on a tour through that by opening up VR chat here. And the VR chat has, like, you know, it's a downloadable program, so I'm really bullish on the web, just because like it's the most accessible. And I think, you know, when it comes to the metaverse, accessibility is extremely important. But when you have all these other platforms that are built on you know, Unity and distributed through app stores, they can at least have a way to launch them, and that's through a protocol handler. So you could launch a specific VR chat world instance, a specific Neos VR instance, and I've got all sorts of links in Cryptovoxels that launch you into different platforms. And when that happens, you will see there is, like, you know, a disconnect. Like, you go into there, and just like how you, like in Cryptovoxels, you could just kind of go up to an NFT and view its records, its ownership, provenance, origins, and all that metadata. You don't really have that in other places. So, you know, even in the current state of, you know, where these crypto native platforms allow us to buy and inspect NFTs in world, by showing the disconnect in platforms that don't have yet this integration, I think, you know, it does well to at least illustrate the issue. I'll just sign in here real quick. And the other thing with the web that I like is you don't have these kinds of download times. It's just instantaneous travel, because you're just hitting a website, albeit it's in 3D. But We'll take a tour through here real quickly. Come on. And we're here. Let me make my avatar bigger. Okay, so this is one example, you know, of like being able to have the same virtual world and view it in different clients. You know, like just like how a blockchain, you can interact with the blockchain in different ways. We can read from, you know, the Cryptovoxels world. The land records are all stored on the blockchain. The content is in a really easy to read format. It's JSON. So it's possible that we can read the virtual worlds using different rendering methods. And that's something I'm passionate about, because when it comes to NFTs and the metaverse, I don't believe that we should always be fighting platform lock-in, because it's kind of like what we're fundamentally against, and you know, when it comes to decentralization. So having ways of viewing it in different platforms brings us closer to that goal, and also is better for the collectors and who want to display it in different ways and show it off on different platforms to new audiences to attract them, but also creators that you know, they can reach new markets, and it's just healthier for the overall ecosystem of why is this different from, say, Fortnite or the other kind of platforms that have existed, you know, where if we're building on these open standards, like we should be using them and not just kind of building new systems of chaining them down to one place. So I'll go back to where I was in the web client. This is an older snapshot, so it's just slightly different, but you get the idea. Cool. So that's what I got for y'all.
This is so much wow. It's very impressive. Great. So it seems like we have a little bit of time to go over all these different things. Jin, so this one room that you showed us, this sort of brings you to all these other different experiences and different platforms.
Yeah,
is that
that's
correct?
Pretty much everything that you see on the walls is a link.
Mm-hmm. It's a link. Yes, I really liked how you described that as a 3D web browsing kind of thing. Can you expand a little bit more on that? Is that a thing? Is it something that has been already discussed and created, or where is that coming from? I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
to name it that way.
Like Cryptovoxels has supported links, external links very early on. So you know, basically anything that you see, and this is kind of like, you know, they even have like the editor built in. So what I see Cryptovoxels is kind of like the Squarespace or Wix of making 3D sites. And then you could just kind of add link. I use it kind of like as a portfolio. It's like a way to show off, for example, right here, these are my proof of attendance tokens for hackathons I participated in, art that I collect, and music that I like. And so it's kind of like a MySpace in a way, but it can be whatever you want it to be.
Very cool. Awesome. Do you guys have any questions for Jin? Do you want to add anything? Rizzle, Peth, anything, any sort of connection that you can find with what you're doing? Anything else that you'd like to add?
I'm always curious to talk to Jin, man. Jin's like one of the OGs in this space and is always fascinating to listen to. And just curious, man, from what you're seeing on your end, you know, we've all been in this space for a while, and I feel like things are really starting to pick up, you know, steam, but we're far away from mainstream adoption, in my opinion. But curious to know, like, what you think either the tipping point would be, or like how far out we are from like these worlds becoming much more populated. Because I think Nikita was saying earlier that, you know, for the most part, there's not a whole lot going on in these worlds unless there's like actually like a thing going on that people are, you know, invited to.
Yeah, totally.
Not a lot of
great
like
question.
random people wandering around. Yeah, go ahead, man.
So, you know, in the past couple weeks, my team was working on a hackathon project in which we built a NFT Discord bot. And all these communities, whether it's VR Chat, Neos VR, Cryptovoxels, Decentraland, they're all on Discord. Discord is kind of like the Starbucks of the metaverse in a way. And we're, you know, like looking for ways of just like VR people just don't get crypto yet. And the biggest point of like the gatekeeper is like MetaMask and then getting a wallet set up. So like this Discord bot essentially gives everyone, you know, the server admin invites it to Discord, then suddenly everyone has an Ethereum address and you could mint and trade NFTs over Discord like instantly because it's all on a side chain. And what's happening soon with Cryptovoxels in the next couple of months is that all of these parcels are going to have a matrix chat, you know, integration. So each of these can be linked to a Slack, a Telegram, a Discord, because Matrix has like a concept called bridges. And so with Cryptovoxels, the entire map is going to be a grid of communities that could be bridged to another chat room, like your Discord server or something. And so we're bridging the virtual world with Discord, and we're making it much easier for people to be introduced into crypto through a bot that they could just play around with it. You know, you don't even have to spend real money. It can just be all on a side chain, and you could upgrade NFTs that you mint to Ethereum mainnet as well. And so, yeah, there's going to be bridges between all these different parcels to individual chat rooms, and those chat rooms can be bridged to other chat rooms. And then we'll also be able to, like, you know, make it much easier for people to interact with NFTs frictionlessly.
Dude, that's insane and straight fire. How far out are we from seeing something like that, like in a usable capacity?
Probably before end of the year.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Ben seems like he's close to shipping.
Where do we get the NFT bot?
Yeah, the NFT bot, it's early access. It's on Rinkeby, so it's still on testnet. But there's, you know, Hackabee. If you go to xrdevlog.com, you could see. Whoops. You could see the project right here, NFT Discord bot, and read about it.
Awesome, thank you.
Gina, I have a few questions too. First of all, thank you. It's very interesting to see all this. First thing is about augmented reality, mixed reality, hybrid reality. Like, we're still like sitting in front of our PCs or like with a VR headsets. So do you think it will somehow will go to the real world and starting to mixed with the real world? And the other question, how much do you think, what is the percent of people who hanging out there in virtual reality headset comparing to monitor experience?
Well, until I think this decade, we're going to see a shift in computer interfaces. It's getting really good. It just needs to get lighter and cheaper, more accessible. And I see the Cryptovoxels as being like a test net. Like all of these land records are, done through smart contracts, and eventually this kind of grid can be the Earth. So we could fork the Earth and experiment with like a kind of a virtual augmented reality testnet using real world spaces, and that's what I'm kind of showing off on my screen here. I've got scans of all these places from the outside as well as the inside, and these are all 3D websites as well, hosted on multiple platforms. So like here's a website, the WebXR version, here's the VRChat version, here's the Mozilla Hubs version of the same space in Oakland, California. Here's a nightclub in San Francisco. It's been transformed. So Cryptovoxels is kind of like a sandbox for prototyping ideas that any virtual world platform can learn from as a case study. And when you're using real world photogrammetry assets, you can essentially prototype with a remote team in VR ideas that can transcend into AR. And you can do also AR inside VR using a new type of web browser that was just released. So this is a way of just, experimenting. And I think it'll allow us to experiment with new forms of governance before using real world assets. It's less risk.
Do you already have voting interfaces?
Yeah, Cryptovoxels is starting to talk about and discuss DAOs, and Decentralized just launched their DAO just very recently. And so these virtual worlds are starting to experiment with governance, and I think Cryptovoxels is doing it by just one island or one district first to just kind of test the waters, but I see it as a very exciting space. That's what really drew me into these projects, because we can prototype new forms of governance and ways that can affect the real world and learn them with less risk. Like Hackerspace is our real world kind of version of a DAO because it's completely community organized and ran. These are physical places people meet to share projects and knowledge and resources, and it's all kind of self-funded through memberships. And we could experiment with smart contracts and virtual world versions of it, especially with COVID. Doing online workshops to raise money and whatever, and it's all happening right now, and it's golden age of experimentation.
Beautiful. Okay, I think we have reached our hour. I want to invite our Project 2020 community watching here to look more. We have a space for you to add comments here. Our speakers today are going to be looking at that. If you want to reach out, I hope you do so. And with that, I think I'll leave it here. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And we look forward to seeing if this talk leads to any unexpected collaborations or interactions with the people involved. So thank you so much.
And one more thing,
yes?
Hopefully we will have a performance at Voxel Bridge, which will be another sort of collaboration that will be between humans, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will announce that then on the town hall at the event. Sounds
Fantastic.
Good? Thanks, everybody. You have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.